Barbara in St. Paul, Minnesota. Hey, Barbara, what's up?
Yes, Mr. Hartman, I listen to your program regularly, and I do respect the way you're thinking. My thing is, everybody basically begged Hillary Clinton to run, and now that she's not saying what the liberals want her to hear, now she's being thrown up under the bus, I feel.
Okay. Who's throwing Hillary under the bus?
I would say liberal men. For
Who?
some strange reason, liberal men.
Liberal men. I'm a liberal man. Am I throwing Hillary under the bus, Barbara?
I think so.
How?
Because all I hear is Bernie says this, Bernie's doing this, Bernie's doing that, Bernie's doing that. Mrs. Clinton's not saying this, Mrs. Clinton's not saying that.
Right.
We have a whole year and a lot of months to hear what everyone's going to say, and I think that we should give her just as much chance as we give Bernie Sanders.
We have contacted their campaign. We have invited her on this program over and over again. She's welcome to come on and take calls from listeners for a whole hour unscreened anytime she wants. She has an absolute open invitation here, her or her surrogates, and they have all said, no thanks, we'll pass.
I think you should try a little bit harder. I would like to hear her.
I'm doing it on the air right now. Hillary, show up.
Okay.
We'll put you on the air.
Yeah,
and it'll be a total softball interview. If you're the Democrat, I've said this over and over again, if Hillary Clinton is the Democratic nominee, now Ben Carson doesn't think she's going to be. Here's what Ben Carson had to say during the Republican primary, or the Republican beauty contest that they called a debate the other day. Here it is.
If Hillary is the candidate, which I doubt, that would be a dream come true.
Who knows? But
yeah, I see. I understand what you're saying. I have no qualms. Understand me. I have no qualms, and I do talk to a lot of African American women, being African American, and a lot of African American women are mad because they're saying now a man is throwing a man in our face, and we must and have to listen to Bernie Sanders and the race of people.
Right.
We're not monolithic. We do. I mean, you have some people that like Bernie, some people that like Hillary. Me myself, if Bernie Sanders becomes the nominee, of course I'll vote for him. I am a staunch Democrat. I just don't like the way things are going. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah. Well, I have a clear Bernie bias. I mean, I'll own that. And the thing with the thing that I opened today with the Black Lives Matter and Hillary yesterday seems to me fishy. But whether it's fishy because those particular Black Lives Matter people, as the guy at the Black Agenda Report was suggesting, are trying to get a job in a Clinton campaign, either campaign or administration, or whether the Clinton staff was dishonest in talking about what happened with the Black Lives Matter protesters. I honestly don't know the answer to that question. But we're getting two conflicting messages, and I would like to know which one is right. We've also reached out to Black Lives Matter and invited them to come on the program, and they've said no. So,
it's just so, I don't know how I could explain it. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's just kind of wrong because I've looked at Mr. Sanders, gas fees and things I see no blacks.
Bernie's press secretary is black.
So is Karen Finney for spokesman for Hillary Clinton? She's black.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so both campaigns are moving in the right direction.
I hope so. I really do hope so because as a Black American, I am tired of watching our young men being slaughtered on the streets and nobody's really paying attention. When we talk about it when something happens, but we do nothing. As a Caucasian people, you do nothing about it. You just talk. You don't come into our communities and actually see what's going on. There are good kids in our community that are doing things, and we need to have some Caucasian men, upper crust, come into our neighborhoods and see actually what's going on. We're not a lazy race. The people never have been, and that's the way we're being treated. And Bernie, Hillary, young gentleman from Michigan running for president too, they don't really talk about it. None of them really talk about it. They really, really don't.
I think that's changing, Barbara. I really do. I think that and it's not just the Black Lives Matters protesters. They would love to take all the credit for it, but I think that it's a year or more of watching every single week another unarmed black man, or in the case of Sandra Bland, an unarmed black woman, basically murdered at the hands of police, and white people in the United States who were largely clueless about this. Many of whom were largely clueless about this, for up until the last couple of years, can no longer claim that innocence. and have to own this as well. And I think the Democratic candidates are actually starting to do that. Republican candidates, it's a whole other thing. Barbara, thank you for your call.